Okay, let's get started. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to St. George's Cathedral in Kingston, Ontario. It's Thursday, May the 7th at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Michael Capon, the music director here at the Cathedral. We're gathering today as a virtual community to enjoy some music together live. So I hope that you enjoy the program today and that we can feel a sense of connection with each other, that we have this shared experience together. I thought I should mention that YouTube does have a chat function on it, and I would encourage you to use that if you're signed in to YouTube. I think it's interesting for people to know where you're from, to engage with each other a little bit. I do get a chance to see the chat messages afterwards, after the concert, so it's always a great pleasure to see who has checked in and to see what you have to say. It also furthers our goal of building that community feeling. So today we're going to hear some chorale preludes, one by Bach, and some by another composer named Ethel Smyth. So we're going to begin with Bach, because we do some Bach at each recital. And I thought I'd start with In dir ist Freude, in you is gladness. This comes from the Orgelbüchlein, the little organ book, a collection of chorale preludes, in other words, settings of hymn tunes by J.S. Bach. This one has a very distinctive pedal theme, which runs all the way through the piece, very catchy. Da 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 dum bum. It's probably even a little more catchy than the melody itself. Da 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 dum. In you is gladness is the translation. When I was looking at the tune for this, it struck me that the tune has quite a strong resemblance to Thomas Morley's madrigal, Sing We and Chant It. Those of you who are interested might like to look up both tunes and compare them. I think there might be a doctoral dissertation in there somewhere about the possible connection between those two pieces of music and whether it can be discovered at all. Anyway, Bach is here. He sets a very cheerful tone for this In You is Gladness hymn. So he's here to cheer us up in the face of global pandemics, murder hornets, polar vortexes, record low temperatures, record tick seasons, political dysfunction, extremism. Hold you. Not to mention, camera's not working. There's always something around here. Anyway, I hope that the camera's working now. Apologize, there seems to have been some cutout or something. So anyway, I hope that someone will let me know if there's another problem. So we'll continue with some more chorale preludes, this time by the composer Ethel Smyth, British composer. She lived, was born mid-19th century, died mid-20th century. She was quite a prolific composer. She wrote 6 operas, a lot of orchestral music, piano music, chamber music, as well as some organ music. And there's a bit of a story behind these pieces, personally. When I was living in Brockville in the late 1980s, I was rummaging around the basement of the Brockville Public Library. Someone had donated a collection of organ music, and it was sitting in a box there in the basement of the library. And I was looking through it, and I found a few things that looked interesting. So I photocopied them, including some music by Edward Townsend Driffield. That's a story for another time. If these recitals go on much longer, I'll probably be forced to pull out some Edward Townsend Driffield. You've been warned. And I also found these chorale preludes by Ethel Smyth, a set of 5 short chorale preludes. I looked through them at the time, and they seemed quite nice. But there was a little bit of a bump of reluctance because some of them had parts in C clefs. And, you know, I can sort of struggle through the C clef, but I'm not really fluent with it. So that was just enough to sort of prevent me bringing these pieces into my repertoire. So the pieces sat on my shelf for 30 years. So fast forward to now, here in Kingston. It was last year or the year before. I think it was when they did the Carmina Burana, but I was at a concert of the Kingston Symphony Orchestra, directed by their dynamic young conductor, Evan Mitchell. And they performed a piece by Ethel Smyth. It was an extract from one of her operas, The Boatswain's Mate. And it was a delightful piece of music. So I was chatting with Evan afterwards, and he was telling me that Ethel Smyth is one of his favorite composers. So somewhere in the back of my mind, I remembered these chorale preludes, and I said, I think I have some organ music by her. So sure enough, I still had these pieces, and I looked through them, and they're still delightful. They're still lovely. So one of the changes in the world now is that we have music software on the computers. So I scanned the music into the computer, and I was able to create my own edition of 3 of them anyway, the 3 that use C clefs. And so now I have the music that uses only G and F clefs, so it's much easier to read. Those organists out there, if you're interested in performing this music, I've loaded these on imslp.org. I've included scans of both the original edition and my new edition. So we can thank Evan Mitchell for drawing these back to my attention again. I hope you enjoy them. There are 3, I'm doing 3 of the 5. Du, o schönes Weltgebäude, you, o beautiful building of the world. Schwing dich auf zu deinem Gott, raise yourself up to your God. And Erschienen ist der herrlich Tag, appeared is the glorious day. First two are sort of Lenten chorales, and then the third one is more for Easter. Enjoy. Are you still there? That's looking promising. So Ethel Smyth liked those pieces so much she actually orchestrated them for a string orchestra and solo instrument. Quite lovely. And by the way, if you haven't already seen it, you must go to the Kingston Symphony Orchestra website and check out their virtual performance of Beethoven's Third Symphony Last Movement. It's quite a remarkable performance. Some of these edited videos, they sort of set up a metronome going and everyone plays to a metronome. But this performance is actually very nuanced, flexible tempos, really beautifully done. I don't quite know how they did it, but kudos to Evan Mitchell and the Kingston Symphony for putting that together. I think Evan now has a second career as a video editor ahead of him. So after those chorale preludes, I wanted to do something a little upbeat, a sort of scherzo-like. So I was looking at the Scherzo by Eugène Gigout, French composer. Sort of overlapped with Ethel Smyth a little bit, maybe earlier 19th century to sort of earlier 20th century was his time span. He wrote quite a lot of organ music. His greatest hit, of course, is the Toccata, the famous Toccata, which is quite widely played. Maybe followed a close second by his Grand Chœur dialogué. But also a piece that's maybe less often played that's quite delightful is his Scherzo, which I'm going to play for you today. This dates from, I think, the 1890s, something like that. And for those organists out there, if you're keeping score, I'm using a feature on the organ called manual transfer. So instead of having the great manual as the middle keyboard, the great is the bottom keyboard. So I have great, choir, and swell. And if you've heard of the term terced dynamics, you will see a literal representation of that today. Because in the Scherzo there are a number of manual changes which result in changes in dynamics. So we have loud, medium, and soft on the keyboards. So I'm actually going to go ahead and play the Toccata as well. It's too good an opportunity not to play this piece. It's one of the barn burners of the French Toccata repertoire, one of the standard pieces in an organist's repertoire. We all learn it. It's a delightful piece to play. And I have to lay some blame for this interpretation on my good friend Rundi V. Bakshi, who is an organist of some note, and so to speak. And he heard that I was going to play this, and he sent me some ideas for interpretation that I foolishly decided to try, including like pedal glissando at the end and some manual changes in the middle that aren't in the score. I'm pretty sure if Gigout were alive today, he'd be turning over in his grave. And I'm also stealing an idea from Virgil Fox. Near the end, there's a sort of a big retard and then a gradual accelerando again. So you can blame Rundi V. Bakshi and Virgil Fox for all this stuff that's in extremely bad taste, but a lot of fun. So the Eugène Gigout, Scherzo and Toccata. I thank you for tuning in today. I hope you have a good afternoon and rest of the day, and hope all of your technology works perfectly from now on. Just a reminder, I will be here next Thursday, God willing and technology willing. Thursday, 12:15 every week here. You can find the link to the concert on our Cathedral website, stgeorgescathedral.ca. There's also information there about how you can donate if you enjoyed the concert. Please do consider donating to the Cathedral. There are various remote ways that you can donate. And you'll also find information there about our Sunday morning worship online every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. So stay well, everybody. Stay healthy. Courage. Goodbye.